Hello and welcome back to my Heaven's Seal playthrough. And now on part 16, I believe. And in the last episode, well, not really that much crazy stuff happened. It was basically slice of life stuff, some more weird stuff with Sakura, an interlude with Shinji that was pretty interesting, and well, a naughty scene at the end again. So it was basically some setup and other stuff. Probably going to see something crazy in this episode, so I'm looking forward to that. Let's start out. I remember the title being pretty ominous. Yeah, overdose. Who doesn't like an overdose? Morning. Slowly my mind. What? Morning. Slowly my mind wakes up, and I sluggishly sit up. The clock reads after 8 o'clock. I'm late. Okay, I'm not exactly late, since I'm not going to school, but I definitely overslept. Oh no, I need to make breakfast. I get up and change. While changing from my pajamas to my regular clothes, I'm forced to look at my left arm, whether I like it or not. Huh? I try lifting up my left arm during my morning stretches. No problem here. I can lift it up to shoulder level, exactly as I intended. It's improving day by day. I still can't feel anything through it, but at this rate, by tomorrow it should. What are you doing, Shiro? Breakfast is already over. Wait, what? Ilya's in front of me. I meant to go to the living room, but I somehow ended up at the shed.
Shiro, 人の話聞いてる？私、こんなところで何をしてるのかって聞いてるんだけど。
Did you hear me, Shiro? Asked you what you doing here? Yeah, I heard you. Morning, Ilya. Honey, running into you here. The answer sounds absurd, even to me. I must not be fully awake yet.
Shiro, 体の調子良くないの?
Shiro, are you not feeling well? No, I'm fine. I'm just still a little sleepy. Hold on. I shake my head. I'm still physically exhausted, but the drowsiness is gone. Well, to answer your question, I'm not here for any particular reason. I just took a wrong turn while I was half asleep.
そっか。それじゃあ今に行こう。シロの朝ごはん、私が用意してあげるから。
Okay. Hey, come to the living room. I make you breakfast. Ilya cheerfully runs back into the yard. It's a clear day. The sky is a bright blue, washing away yesterday's gloom. I take a deep breath, filling up my lungs with comfortably cool air. Did Ilya say she's making breakfast? She did. First thought that comes to my now operational mind is her last remark. Ilya's breakfast. I'm looking forward to it, but the notion makes me very uneasy. I can say with confidence that Ilya has never been in a kitchen before, much less picked up a chef's knife. I should probably go supervise her. I head towards the living room, feeling the prickly grass beneath my feet. I'm shocked again. Talk about sleepwalking. What was I thinking coming out here before barefoot? I arrive in the living room, almost 4 minutes later. After taking the time to clean up the dirt off my feet. I nearly bump into Sakura when I enter the living room. Morning, Sakura. Sorry about this morning. I overslept until after 8. Sakura stares at me. I wonder if she didn't hear me. Sakura? I reach out to her, thinking her fever might have come back. But... Good morning, senpai. She greets me at full volume, making my concern unwarranted. Hey, you're in good spirits this morning. Does it mean your body is feeling better? Yes, thank you. I'm full of energy because you gave me some of yours. Sakura speaks haltingly. I'm glad she's upbeat, but the fact she doesn't look calm makes me worry too. What's wrong, Sakura? You're being kinda weird. What do you mean I gave you some of my energy? Last night... In your bedroom? She trails off. Sakura mumbles bashfully. Oh, now I remember. How could I forget? Last night. I held Sakura, or rather she embraced me. Heat suddenly rises to my head. It instantly reaches boiling point, as if all of my blood below my neck was pumped there. Sakura, last night that really happened, right? It wasn't a dream? Blushing and with an expression that seems to blame me somehow, she nods. Wow. Just when I thought my face couldn't get any hotter, it does. Meaning that last night. Shiro Amiya's rational mind labeled everything that happened as a dream and filled it away with... Wait, not that. Sakura, I'm sorry about that. I clumsily apologized to her, holding my dizzy head in my hand. Did she take so much blood from him that he's cooked in the morning or what? Yes, but I was happy, senpai. A shy smile is like a mortal blow to my heart. She got me. She's so lovely, I want to hug her again, right now. If Ilya wasn't around and I didn't hear the TV on the living room, I'd... Shiro, breakfast is ready. If Ilya hadn't chimed in right on cue, I might have charged straight into super mushy mode again. Anyway, I'm here to eat breakfast. Let's talk later. I make a sharp turn like a robot and I head for the living room. I desperately move my sluggish arms and legs, taking control of my mind and driving the desire into a corner of it.
Hi, Shiro. 朝ごはん.
Here's your breakfast. Ilya thrusts a plate at me as soon as I enter the living room. Arranged on it are a black piece of toast, soft-looking sunny side-up eggs, and neatly cut tomato. Thanks. I accept it, still feeling dizzy. Take my usual place at the dining table and bite into the crunchy toast. Wait, does he mean black toast with burnt toast or what? Why is it black? Shouldn't it be brown? The toast aside, she did a good job on the eggs. I wonder if she learned by watching or if Sakura or Tosaka taught her. Anyway, I'd better give her full marks for the first attempt. It's good. I keep chewing on the toast. Ilya watches me eat, looking neither proud nor aesthetic, just satisfied. I avoid saying that the toast has the texture of charcoal. I wouldn't want to ruin the mood. Because it actually does taste good. Everyone has their own preferences. Some people happen to like their toast black and hard. Well, each their own.
そんな焦げっちいの食べてると体壊すわよ、あんた。
Oh, come on. Eating burnt food like that is bad for you. You fool. Whether it's rice or bread, it's always nice to have a dark crust.
ちょっと、エミヤくん、頭平気?
Hey, Emiya. Did you hit your head? It's good, really. It's okay to be a bit rough with cooking.
本格的に寝ぼけてるのね。あのね、そんなのんきなこと言ってる場合じゃないんだけど。
You really must be still half asleep. This is no time to be carefree, you know. Tosaka looks at the TV. It's on and playing the news. Am I having déjà vu? The story they're talking about should have happened a long time ago. Suddenly, my sluggish mind kicks back into gear. I read the captions on the screen. Koma and Shinto, last night in the early dawn. People lost consciousness and didn't wake up. It's believed to have the same cause as the mass poisoning that happened recently, but something is different about them. They were affected in an area 50 meters wide. It had only happened within a single building or so before, but the radius of the latest incident was dramatically wider. But that isn't the problem. At the end of the news report, the number of victims is listed. 3 digits worth of people in the hospital, and people missing too. Tosaka, this is...
そう。行方不明者14名。調べればもっと増えるだろうけど、とりあえずは全体の10分の1ってことで落ち着きそうね。完全に飲まれてしまった人間は。
Yeah, 14 missing people. I'm sure that number will go up. The more they investigate. But it looks like about a tenth of the total victims were completely consumed. My mind freezes. Unconsciously.
わかった?これが造剣の仕業か、あの影の仕業かはわからないけど、どっちにしたって今までとは段違いの犠牲者が出たことに変わりはない。
Get it? I don't know if Zoken or the Shadow is behind this, but either way, the number of victims is on a whole new level.
この分でいけば、数日後には一区画丸ごと飲み込まれかねないわ。
At this rate, we might eat a whole city block in a few days. I squeeze my wrapped left arm tightly. Tosaka, are the people who are missing dead? I confirm with her. Without saying anything, she looks away and nods.
話はここまでよ。シローの気持ちはわかるけど、罪悪感は後にして。
Conversation is over. I know how you feel, but you can feel guilty later.
いい？あいつらは私たちに手がないと思ってやりたい放題やり始めた。私たちを甘く見てるからこんな馬鹿げたことをしてるのよ。
They're starting to do whatever they want in the city because they can't come directly after us. They're getting sloppy because they don't see us as a threat.
なら、舐められてる私たちが何をするべきか確認するまでもないでしょ。
So, there's only one thing to do while they're underestimating us. Osaka quietly stands up. Her destination is clear. Without beckoning me to come along, she's headed for the dojo.
で、単刀直入に聞くけど、腕の調子はどうなの、シロ?
I get right to the point. How does your arm feel, Shiro? Osaka launches straight to business as soon as we enter the dojo. Let me see. I can move it like a normal arm now, but that isn't what you're asking, isn't it?
ええ、私が聞いているのはアーチャーの腕として理解できたかってことだけよ。
Yeah, I only want to know whether you comprehend it as Archer's arm yet. Elia watches us both, saying nothing. I can claim without a doubt that Tosaka has no idea what this arm really is. She doesn't know the terror it made me feel me last night. She doesn't know that thinking of the cloth will be the end of me. Taking off the cloth will be the end of me. She doesn't know that merely exposing its skin, never mind using Archer's power, will destroy Shiro Amiya's body. I remember the sensation. Inescapable death. The claustrophobic feeling of being buried alive. Seeing my world, emptiness painted over by something alien to me, and watching the world shrink as I meet a silent absolute end. The mere taste of that memory makes the thought of replying in my shuddering head. I can't use this arm. If I do, I die. My death will be all but certain without a miracle to save me.
どうなの？私の魔術刻印を移してから1日経ったんだから少しは手応えがあるはずよ。
It's been a day since I have implemented my magic crest in you. How does it feel? It should be working a little now.
さあ、答えて。あなた、アーチャーの腕で何ができるかもう分かっているの？
Come on, let's see it. Do you know what you can do with Archer's arm yet? Hold on. Tosaka's asking something completely different from what I'm thinking. Does she think I can use Archer's arm already? You're not asking whether I can control Archer's arm, but what his noble phantasm is?
そんなの当たり前でしょ。シローはアーチャーの腕を使ったらまずいんだから使わせるわけないじゃない。何？それとも使う気でいたっていうの？あんたは。
Obviously. I know how bad it would be for you to use his arm, so I wouldn't ask you to do it. Or are you saying you want to now? Tosaka is genuinely angry at me. No, that's not what I meant. I just thought that's where you were going.
そういう流れってどういう流れよ。
Where do you think I was going exactly?
まったく。言っとくけど、どんな状況になろうと、アーチャーの腕だけは使わせないからね。
Listen, No matter what happens, I want you make you use Archer's arm.
シロも私の許可なしで使おうなんて思わないで。
Don't even think about using it without my permission.
そのアーチャーの代わりなんだから勝手に死なれたら困るじゃない。
You're Archer's replacement, so I can't have you suddenly dying on me. I take it all back. Tosaka does know. After all, she's a far more skilled mage than me. She knows better than I do what will happen to me if I start trying to use his arm.
それでどうなの？アーチャーの宝具が何であるか理解できた？
So, do you understand what this noble phantasm is yet? I don't know what Tosaka expects me to say, but...
もういい加減言ってあげればシロ。そんなのアーチャーの腕を移植された時から知ってるって。
Just tell her already, Shiro. You know ever since his arm has been grafted onto you.
ちょっと今の本当なのシロ？
Wait, really, Shiro? I think so. Archer's noble phantasm is his projection magecraft that he uses to replicate weapons, right? I'm not confident in my answer since it was just a hunch I had without any proof.
緊張して損した。要するにもうつながってるんだ、それと。
I was worried for nothing. That means you're already connected to him.
それはそれで助かるけど、どうして黙ってたのよイリア。シロがアーチャーの投影魔術を知ってたのなら、いちいち確認取る必要なかったじゃない。
I'm glad to hear it, but why didn't you say anything? Ilya, if Shiro knows Archer's projection, we need to thoroughly check that out.
どうしても何も聞かれなかったから言わなかっただけよ。リンはシロに投影をさせたがっているんだから、伝えるのはリンの役目でしょ。私が口出しすることじゃないわ。
Because you never asked. If you want Shiro to use projection, then it is your job to ask him. That's not something I can stick my nose in.
何よその口ぶり。あなた、あそこまで用意しておいてやめるって言うんじゃないでしょうね。
Excuse me? Don't tell me you want to stop after all our preparation.
それはリンとシロが決めることでしょ。
That's up to you and Shiro.
確かに宝石剣を複製できればリンの勝ちよ。だからこそ私も手を貸してあげた。けどそれは私の義務だから手を貸しただけ。決してあなたの方針に賛同したからじゃないわ。
It's true that you'll win if you can replicate the jeweled sword. That's why I've been helping you. But I'm only doing it out of obligation. I don't agree with your direction at all. Jeweled sword? Oh, that thing. Now I remember. Huh. Based on what we are saying, it sounds like Tosaka wants me to project something. Can I ask you something? You want me to replicate something, Tosaka?
そうよ。シロにはあるものを複製してもらうわ。
Yeah, I'll show you what it is.
私たちだけじゃセイバーにもあの影にもかなわない。だからサーバントにとって代わるサーバント以上の魔術講師。霊体であるサーバントを打倒する概念武装を作り上げなくちゃいけないのよ。
We can't win against Saber or that shadow. That's why in place of the servants we don't have. We need to create a conceptual weapon to use magecraft that can defeat servants, who are made of spiritual bodies. A conceptual weapon? You mean those fixed magical items designed to enact a fixed effect?
ええ、物理的な衝撃で相手を打倒するのではなく、概念、コンパクトしての重みで相手を打倒するアウトブレイカー。あなたにはその中でも特殊な、うちに伝わる探検を投影してもらうわ。
Yeah, they don't defeat targets with physical force, but by crushing their very soul. That's why we're also called Outbreakers or Soul Crushers. I'm going to have you project a particularly unique one. A dagger that's been passed down through the Tosaka line.
目標はセイバーの宝具に対抗できるだけのものを作ること。
Our goal is to make something that's strong enough to fight back against Saber's noble phantasm. If that thing is so strong, why is it only a 3-star Graph since the Fate Grand Order?
バーサーカーを倒したセイバーの宝具は見たでしょ？
You saw her use it to defeat Berserker, right?
単純な火力で言えば、セイバーは他の追随を許さない。
In terms of sheer firepower, she has no equal.
あの黒い影だってセイバーの宝具を受ければ跡形もないだろうし、私たちだってあんなものを振るわれたら防ぐこともかわすこともできない。
But even the shadow would get wiped out if it took a hit from her noble phantasm. So we can't expect to block or dodge it.
けど逆に言えば、急増ですぐ壊れる模造品でもセイバーの宝具を上回る剣さえ作れれば、あとは戦い方次第ってわけ。
Conversely, if we make a sword that's stronger than Saber's noble phantasm, the rest of the battle will be down to our tactics. Even if she is, if it's a rush job that breaks after one us. One use. I mean, sorry. It's a rational plan. If our biggest edge is Saber's noble phantasm, then we just need to have something stronger than it. Just get an 8+ noble phantasm. Oh, what tier is the Saber's noble phantasm? Let's look at that. Servants. Where is she? Saber. Noble phantasm. Sorry. A++. Sure. Easy, right? Yeah, bigger edge than Saber's noble phantasm. We just need to have something stronger than it. Yeah. Making a better weapon than our enemies. That's one of the surest and most simple paths to victory. I mean, it's sure one of the surest paths to victory, but simple? What do you mean, simple? However, I don't know about that. I can't project a noble phantasm on that level. In fact, I've never ever even succeeded at projection even once.
ええ、私たちが知っている投影が成功したことなんて一度もないでしょうね。
I know. I bet you've never made a success by the standard of what we mages consider projection.
けど、あなたの投影はそういうレベルの話じゃない。今まではやり方がわからなくて、間違った方法で間違った投影を行っていただけ。
But your problem is more basic than that. Until now, you've been incorrectly making projections using wrong methods, because you didn't even know how.
けど、アーチャーの知識があるなら、あとはそれをなぞるだけでいい。アーチャーという見本を知っている今のあなたなら、投影は必ず成功する。
But now that you have Archer's knowledge, you just need to follow his steps. His whole instruction manual is in your head, so you're certain to succeed. Nozuka says it with confidence. I'm afraid that I don't quite share it.
いい？前にも言ったけど、あなたは強化じゃなくて、投影の魔術使いなの。
Look, I told you before that you specialize in projection, not strengthening.
そのあなたがより上位の複製者であるアーチャーの魔術理論を踏めば、本物と同じ能力を持つ複製品とまではいかないだろうけど、オリジナルに似た能力を持つ複製品を形取れる。
So, if you follow the magecraft theory of Archer, with a more advanced user, you should be able to make something with the power of the original. Okay, Not quite, but it should be close.
それ以外のフォローは私たちの役割よ。
Our job is to support you.
私とイリアは今、あなたに投影してもらう武器の材料をできるだけオリジナルに沿うように用意してるわ。
Ilya and I have been gathering as many ingredients as we can for the weapon that we want you to project.
投影時の資料になる設計図はイリアがリーディングで解析中だし、本物に使われていた材料は私の方で用意してる。
Ilya is analyzing the blueprints that you'll use during your projection, and I provide the materials that are used to make the real thing.
まだ準備に時間がかかるけど、これが揃ったらあとは指導次第よ。指導が形だけでも大師傅のパスを複製してくれれば、造剣と正面からぶつかっても勝機が見える。
It'll still be a while before we're ready. Once we are, the rest is up to you. If you can replicate the Grandmaster's path/talisman, even only in shape, it'll give us the chance we need to crush Zogan head on. Basically, they're going to supply me with a blueprint and materials that I'll use to build something. No complaints here, if you can use it to beat Zogan. I'm happy to go along with Tosaka's plan, except... Let's assume I'm able to project the weapon. And what do we need materials for? Just show me the original, I can copy it. You could try it right now.
バカ、それができるなら2日前に試させてるわよ。
If that was possible, we would have tried it 2 days ago, stupid.
いい？今の指導じゃ投影はできて1回。それも必ずどこかにほころびができるイメージになる。
Right now, the best you can manage is a single projection. And it's bound to be a mental image that's full of open seams.
それじゃあ意味ないでしょ。土蔵に転がっている出来損ないと同じ。形はそっくりでも中身がないっていう偽物を作られたらたまんないわ。
There's no point in doing that. It would be a waste of time if we made a fake that resembled the shape, but was hollow on the inside. Like the failed products in the chat. But I only know how to make fakes.
だからそのフォローを私たちがしてるんじゃない。
That's why I said we'll back you up.
投影に必要な魔力と知識を補うために、できる限り本物に近い素材を作っておいて、あとはそれにあなたのイメージを重ねて固定化するってわけ。
We're going to create conditions as close to the original as possible to give you the power and knowledge you need for your projection. Then you overlay your mental image to fixate it.
簡単な足し算よ。シローのイメージと私たちが用意した材料を足して、より高い数値を求める。
It's a simple addition. You supplement your mental projection with our materials to achieve a greater result.
まあ、アーチャーの腕で投影すれば材料や元になる設計図もいらないんだろうけど、そういうわけにもいかないでしょ。
If you used Archer's arm to do the projection, you wouldn't need any blueprints, but that's out of the question, right?
アーチャーの腕に頼らないで戦う武器を用意するって言ったら、もうこの方法しかないのよ。
It is the only way to make a better ready weapon without relying on his arm. So, we're going to strengthen a projection of something that already exists. In that case, it does sound a little more realistic, like an outcome I could manage with practice. You still don't know if it will work. I couldn't reliably strengthen anything before I became a master. I don't think I can pull off a stunt if you're going to put me on the spot with no practice.
ああ、それは大丈夫。
Oh, no worries there.
シロにはこれから投影の練習と、あ アーチャーの知識の引き出しを猛特訓してもらうから。
We're going to have you put through a training gauntlet to have you practice your projection and draw out Archer's knowledge. Okay, I'm fine with that. But you seem awfully happy about this, Tosaka.
まさかここんところずっとイリアと積み木遊びしてたから、出来の悪い教え子とコミュニケーションするのもいいかなって思ってるだけよ。
Heavens forbid! I've just been playing building blocks with Ilya for so long, but it might be a nice change of pace to have a nice talk with a naughty student. I shudder remembering the bizarre sensation I felt yesterday. It was an ordeal where Tosaka stripped me down, closed in on me, and jammed her finger inside in me. It ended without incident. What if it's going to happen again today? I might get a good scolding from Sakura, who's resting in her room.
と、冗談は置いておいて、話は分かってくれた？
Jokes aside, you do understand now?
それなら最後の確認をしておきたいんだけど。
If you do, I want to confirm with you one last time. Confirm what?
この作戦でいいかってことよ。
That you're okay with this plan.
結局私たちはシローの投影に頼るしかない。
In the end, we're going to rely on your projection.
アーチャーの腕は使わせないけど、それでもアーチャーから魔術を習う以上、シローの体にはアーチャーっていうサーバントの毒が混ざる。それでもシローはこの方針に従ってくれる？
We won't make you use Archer's arm, but you'll still be imitating his magecraft, which means that the servant's poison will enter your body. You still stick to the plan, Chiro? I mean, it's the only way to defeat Zoken. I feel better knowing that you're going to train me.
はっきり言うわ。アーチャーの魔術を習うってことは、アーチャーの腕の束縛を解くってことよ。
I'll be clear. Copying Archer's magecraft means undoing the restraints on his arm.
つまりね、ここで投影の鍛錬をする間は、その正外符を外せって言ってるのよ、私は。
Meaning that whenever you practice projection, you have to take off the shroud. My thoughts freeze in place. Take off a holy shroud? Just barely loosening it last night struck me with sheer terror, and I wound up shaking and sobbing. She wants me to unleash this poison again? Answer goes without saying. I can choose? Well, I don't know if he dies. If I not. But that's an interesting, more interesting answer. Because I think you want to see what happens when, he does some magic, right? So let's not. Yeah, I make it work. I scrunch up every bit of strength and grit, and I follow your plan. We're only taking off a shroud, right? I managed to make myself nod.
そう。やっぱりそうきたわけ。
Yeah, you do it, huh? What, Tosaka? Don't like my answer?
別にあんたに脅しなんて意味なかったって再確認したところ。
I didn't say that. I just remembered that it is pointless to try and imitate you.
正外符を外してもいいだなんてあっさり言うとは思わなかっただけで、答え自体には満足よ。
I didn't expect you to say that you'd be okay with taking off a shroud, but I'm satisfied with your answer. Tosaka huffs and turns away, clearly unhappy. Being weird. I was trying to show you that I'm determined. to help. But you take it so, you make it sound like I did something wrong.
変なのは私の方よ。
Yeah, I'm being weird.
その答えを欲しがったのに、いざ言われたら頭にくるなんてどうかしてる。
It's the answer I wanted to hear, but it still pisses me off to hear it.
けどシロ、さっきも言ったけど、私はあなたにアーチャーの腕なんて使わせない。それは決して正外譜を外させないってことよ。
And Shiro, I said earlier that I'd never make you use Archer's arm, meaning that I wouldn't make you take off a shroud.
あなたの覚悟を試した私が言えることじゃないけど、二度と正外譜を外すなんて言わないで。
And now it sounds right after I was trying to test you. But never say that you're going to take off the shroud again.
それを外すってことは、もう戻れなくなるってことだから。
Once you do, there's no going back. It's an earnest plea, not a warning. I squeeze my wrapped left arm. It's true that I don't want to take this off. But that means... How am I going to copy Archer's magecraft then? I won't be able to draw out its structure unless I do undo the shroud, right?
もちろん。だからここは無理を承知で、少しだけ正外譜の工作を緩めてもらうわ。それなら封印を解いたことにならないし、アーチャーの腕からの反動も少なくできるでしょ。
Of course. We're going to keep the risk in mind and just barely loosen the Holy Shroud's restraints. It won't fully undo the seal, and it should reduce the feedback from his arm. Right. And you were talking about taking off a shroud earlier.
ええ、少しだけ布を緩めろってことよ。
Yes, I meant that we just slightly loosen it.
けど、それだって大事だから、まずシローの覚悟を試してみたってわけ。
But it's still a big deal, so I wanted to make sure you're ready.
ともあれ、これはいつかやらなくちゃいけないことでもある。
It's something we have to do eventually anyway.
シローだっていつまでも布を巻いたままなんて嫌でしょ。せめて自分で巻き直せるぐらいできないとこの先やっていけないんだから。お風呂の問題とか何かの拍子で外れたりとか。
You don't want to keep your arm wrapped up forever, do you? You won't get anywhere if you can't at least take it off and put it back on yourself. What if it accidentally comes off in a bath, for example? Oh, yeah. Good point.
でしょ。だから今のうちにせめて布が緩まった程度の反動には耐えられるようになっておかないと。
Right. So we should teach you you to bear the feedback of loosening the shroud at least.
昨日の刻印はうまく馴染んでいるようだし、耐魔力だって上がっているし、意識の保護はエリアがやってくれるから、今なら5分ぐらいは OK なんじゃないかしら。
It looks like your body is adapting to the ward I applied yesterday, and the magic resistance is working. Elia will protect your mind, so I think we should have about 5 minutes to work with. So, you mean you want to have two of us? You want the two of us to restrain Archer's arm?
ちょっと違うよ。私が守るのはあくまでシローの精神だけで、アーチャーからの逆流を我慢するのはシローの役目。
Not exactly. I'm only going to be protecting your mind, while it's your job to endure the backflow of Archer's arm.
シローはアーチャーの経験を引き出さなくちゃいけないんだから、防ぐんじゃなくて耐えなくちゃいけないでしょ。
You need to draw out Archer's experience, so you have to accept and endure it instead of blocking it out. I see. If Ilya blocks the magical energy flow from Archer's arm, I won't be able to learn his magecraft. Even if it's toxic to me, I can't learn what it contains. Unless I taste it myself. Alright. Then I loosen the shroud. But do my best to endure the backflow of her arm.
ええ、その時は目を閉じて内側に意識を向けること。
Yeah. When you do it, close your eyes and direct your mind inwards.
魔術回路を開く時と同じだから簡単でしょ？
It should be easy. Like when you're opening your magic circuits.
とにかくシロはアーチャーの投影技法を体験するだけでいい。身に染みさせるだけでいいんだから、間違っても理解しようだなんて思わないでね。
You just need to experience Archer's projection method. Let it sink into your body, but don't try to understand it.
ごめん、ちょっと席を外すわ。
Sorry, I need to step away for a bit.
あとはよろしくね、イリア。すぐに戻るから、その間にシロを鍛えてあげてちょうだい。
Take care of him, Ilya. I'll be right back, so train him in the meantime. And with that, Tosaka suddenly leaves the dojo. Oh, not with any urgency. What's up with her?
さあ、何か忘れ物でもしたのよ、きっと。
Who knows? She probably forgot something.
そんなことより、シローにはやることがあるでしょ。
Anyway, Shiro, you have something to do, don't you?
拘束を緩めるなんてバカな真似は反対だけど、シローが約束したのなら手伝ってあげる。さ、リンが戻ってくるまでに済ませましょう。
I think it's foolish to loosen the binds. And I'm against it. But I did promise to help you. We finish this before Rin gets back. Ilya goes behind me and places a cool hand on my back. Ilya?
いいから目をつぶって、シローが一番得意な瞑想して。
Just close your eyes. Do that meditation you're so good at.
魔術回路が開いたら、こっちでシローの意識をプロテクトして、生涯符の拘束を緩めるわ。
Once you open your magic circuits, I'll protect your mind, and then loosen the holy shroud.
タイミングはこっちで測るから、シローは流れてくる魔力に耐えてるだけでいい。けど、くれぐれも死ぬ気で耐えて。左腕からの反動で、シローは間違いなく飲み込まれるから。
I handle the timing, so just be ready to deal with the magic energy flow. You need to try as hard as you can to hang on, because the feedback from the arm will consume you. I nod and slowly close my eyes. Quickly and quietly, I still my mind and create different nerves inside my body. In just a few days, it's become much easier to create my pseudo-nerves. And just as I complete the line of light running down my back,
余計な忠告をするね、シロー。
it was a needless warning, Shiro.
リンが知ってるのは、英霊の腕を移植された人間の痛みだけよ。だからリンは、これがどういうことになるか分かってない。シローがどうなっちゃうかも分かってないの。
Rin only knows about your human pain and of having a heroic spirit's arm attached. She doesn't understand what it really means. What's going to happen to you?
けど、それも仕方ないわ。
But she can't help with what she doesn't know.
だって、シローとアーチャーの関係を知っているのは、この世で私だけなんだから。
After all, I'm the only person in the world who knows your relationship with Archer. But Leah says something strange in a voice I can't quite hear. Another interlude. From Rin's perspective. Now then, the two sisters leave a dojo and enter the yard.
どういうつもり、さくら。体が悪いんだから、おとなしく部屋で休んでいるんじゃなかったの？
What do you think you're doing, Sakura? Thought you were supposed to be resting in your room because of your health. Rin Tosaka looks down on the girl with an icy glare rather than concern. Sakura Mato uneasily drops her gaze. Neither of them exchanges any words. Rin sternly scolds Sakura for poking her nose where it doesn't belong. But Sakura can't find the will to say anything due to her feelings for indebtedness and inferiority.
さくら、エミヤくんが心配になって見に来たのなら戻りなさい。それだけの理由なら私も見なかったことにしてあげるから。
Sakura, if you came to see Emiya because you were worried about him, then go back. If that's your only reason for being here, then I pretend this never happened. Sakura trembled slightly. The older sister's rebukes is severe. She knows full well how insecure and gloomy Sakura is, even as she drives at her.
違います姉さん。私はただ。
That's not it, Nesan. I just... Even as she feels pressured by Rin, Sakura works up her resolve to stand up to the big sister, whom she looks up to so much. However,
説明は不要よ。私は部屋に戻れって言っているの。
I don't need an explanation. Just go back to your room.
ここで何を言われようが、あなたを道場に入れることだけはしないから。
I'm not letting you into the dojo, no matter what you say. Rin cuts her off her mid-sentence. Cuts her off mid-sentence.
中に入れないってどうしてですか？
What? Why can't I go inside?
どうしても何もないわ。マスターとして行動するとき、私たちにとってあなたは敵でしかないだけ。
It doesn't matter why. When we are acting as masters, we only see you as our enemy.
いい、さくら。戦闘に参加せず、ライダーでこの家を守ろうが、あなたが造剣の手駒であることに変わりはないの。そんな相手の前で鍛錬なんてできるわけないでしょ。
Look, Sakura. You're still Zoken's pawn. Even if you're protecting this house with Ryder instead of taking part in this war. That's why we can't train him in front of you. All Sakura can do is stand there and take the cold lecture. Rin genuinely believes what she says. Unlike Shiro, she's constantly on guard against Zoken's next move. Or perhaps. She's absolutely sure that Sakura will not turn on them. Sakura bites her lips in frustration. As Rin says, they don't know when Zoken will take action. With each passing day, her body becomes harder to control, and her memories more scattered. Even her sleep is plagued with nightmares, and no longer is the peaceful respite it once was. She could indeed lose her mind at any moment.
そういうこと。何よりそんな魔力不足の体でうろつかれちゃ迷惑よ。
Exactly. You're just causing us more trouble for us by moving around when you don't have enough magical energy.
今のあなたはいつ倒れるかわからない。まあ、今は落ち着いているようだから倒れたりしないだろうけど、無理をすればするほどエミヤくんが心配するわ。
You might collapse at any time. Okay, you might not right now. But right now when nothing is going on. But the more you push yourself, the more Anya will worry about you.
そうなれば彼、今以上に追い詰められるわよ。それはあなたも望むところじゃないでしょ、さくら。
It's just going to stress him out even more. I'm sure you don't want that, Sakura. Rin's logic is completely sound. Frustrated by her own powerlessness, Sakura stares at the ground again.
分かってくれた？なら早く戻りなさい。お昼になったら呼びに行くから、それまでちゃんと休んでること。
Get it now? Then hurry up and go back. We'll come get you when it's lunch. So make sure you rest until then. She nods meekly. Rin turns her back on her little sister. The gesture seems to declare that Sakura Mato is a nuisance.
待ってください、姉さん。
Wait, Nissan.
何？まだ何かあるの、さくら。
What? Was there anything else?
はい。姉さんの話は分かりました。私も部屋には戻ります。
Yes, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to go back to my room.
けど、ちゃんと聞かせてください。姉さんは先輩に何をさせる気なんですか？
But please, let me ask you a question. What are you going to make Senpai do?
姉さん、先輩はもう戦えないって分かってるんでしょ？
You know he can't fight anymore, don't you?
なのに今日も先輩を呼び出して、これ以上何をさせようって言うんです。
Then why did you summon him again today? To do even more things to him? Rin stops in her tracks.
何って魔術講座よ。このままじゃ造形にもセーバーにもあの黒い影にも勝てないでしょ。
We're giving him a lecture on magecraft. What else? Right now, we can't beat Zoken, Saber, or that shadow.
だからシローにはアーチャーの腕から魔術を引き出してもらう。アーチャーの腕は経験値の塊だからね。正外符の拘束を緩めれば、シローが眠っていても一方的に経験値が流れ込んでいって強引にレベルアップさせられるでしょ。
That's why I need Shiros to draw out Archer's magecraft. Archer's arm contains his accumulated experience. If we loosen the Holy Shroud, that experience will flow into Shiro even if he is asleep, forcing him to level up. Sakura's a mage too, so she understands how reckless of an idea that is. What his sister is trying to do to Shiro is nothing but torture. Like trying to force 100 liters of fuel into his 10-liter tank. Of course, the excess gasoline is bound to spill out, and even if they pour 10,000 points of experience into him, he can only retain 10. It will only cause him suffering. All Shiro will gain is less than a tenth of the agony he is forced to taste. And more importantly, a normal mind could never endure such an experience. If a mud doll faces a tidal wave, it will be washed away without a trace. That's what it means to loosen the Holy Shroud.
嘘です。そんなことを続けたら先輩の体が持たない。
That's reckless. If you keep doing that, his body won't last.
それだけじゃない。先輩は姉さんを信じています。信じてるからそんな無茶なことだって受け入れる。
No, that's not all. He trusts you. He's letting you do these things to him because he has faith in you.
けど、そんなことをしていたら結局、最後には姉さんの一言で、あの布だって外してしまうに決まってます。
But you know him. All it will take is one word from you to make him take off that shroud.
さくら。
She She doesn't look down this time. Sakura glares defiantly at her sister, her ideal.
そうね。けどさくら、私が言わなくても、あいつは自分から正外譜を外してたわ。さっき話してて、それが分かっちゃった。
Yeah, but he's already been taking off a shroud, even though I haven't told him to. I realized that when I was taking him talking to him earlier.
本当どうかしてるわ。私がどんな風に忠告してもね、きっと最後には何でもないことみたいに外しちゃうのよ、あいつ。
Seriously, what's wrong with him? No matter how many times I warn him, he just ends up doing it anyway. Like it's no big deal.
そう。それがわかるから、そんなことをしなくてもいい方法を提示するしかなかった。
It's because I know him that I suggested a plan that wouldn't involve him using the arm.
外さなくてもなんとかなるって知っていれば、あいつだってギリギリまで我慢するでしょ。だから私の役目は、そのギリギリのうちに戦う道具を作らせること。
If he knows that we have a fighting chance, even if he doesn't take the shroud off, when he barely keep himself in check. So my job is to have him make use of a tool while staying on the right side of the lines.
それが終わればシロを休ませる。閉じ込めてでもおとなしくさせて、聖杯戦争が終わるまで戦わせないわ。
Once they're finished, Shiro can rest. I even confine him and make him behave, and not let him fight again until the Holy Grail War is over. Her sister is telling the truth. Rin Tosaka is being as considerate as she can. But that's only with her own heart. Sakura is the heir of an equally old lineage, so she knows her sister has other priorities.
姉さんが先輩を案じてくれているのはわかります。
Nesan, and now that you're worried about Senpai.
けれど、姉さんはそれだけです。もし今の方法でおじい様を倒せないとわかれば、姉さんはきっと使う。
But that's all. Once you realize that your method can't defeat Grandfather, then you're sure to use it.
あなたは遠坂の魔術師ですから。勝つため、魔術師としての規律を守るためなら、姉さんは先輩を道具として使う人間です。
You're a Tosaka mage. If it helps you win, to safeguard the laws that govern mages, you use Senpai as a tool if you have to. It's not a question, just a statement of fact. Tosaka asks, closes her eyes.
ええ、今の方法が失敗して、ゾウケンとあの影が昨夜のような強行を繰り返すなら、シロにはアーチャーの腕を使ってもらう。彼一人の命で済むのなら当然でしょう。
Yes. If this method fails, and Zoken and the Shadow repeat last night's atrocities again, then I'll make Shiro use Archer's arm. It's the obvious choice to make, since it's all it costs is his life. She lays it out boldly.
そんなの勝手です。先輩は初めから聖杯なんて欲しがっていなかった。マスターになったのだって空前じゃないですか。ならもうこれ以上無理やり戦わせるなんて間違ってます。
It's selfish. Senpai has never wanted the Holy Grail. It's just a coincidence that he became a master. So it's wrong to keep forcing him to fight.
何か勘違いしてるみたいね、さくら。
Hmm. You seem to be having the wrong idea, Sakura.
いい？私はシローに無理強いなんてしていないし、そもそも本当ならシローに発言権はないの。シローは私のアーチャーから腕をもらって一命を取り留めた。その後もあの腕に耐えながら受け入れている。
Listen, I'm not forcing Shiro to do anything, nor do I have the right to order him around. My archer's arm saved his life. Since then, he's continued to keep the arm while putting up with its effects.
なら、その時点であいつの命は私のものでしょ？
So, his life has been mine ever since that moment.
シローにあの腕がある限り、あいつは私のアーチャーなの。
As long as he has that arm, he's my archer.
わかる？この戦いが終わるまで、シローは私の使い魔ってこと。
Do you understand? Chihiro's my familiar until this war's over.
さくらに口出しされる言われはないわ。私はあいつが戦いを望む以上、全力で力を貸すし、貸してもらうだけなんだから。
You have no right to interfere with that. I want him to fight, so I'll borrow his power as much as I need to. She can't come up with a retort. Awed by her sister's confidence, the girl stands there, unable to say anything in reply, answered by her sister's confidence. Sorry.
話はそれだけ？じゃあ部屋に戻りなさい。ここにいられたら迷惑だって言ったでしょ？
Are we finished here? Then go back to your room. You're being a nuisance by staying here. Rin Tosaka turns and goes back to the dojo. The girl watches her go, as if gazing at the distant landscape. The art that should be so familiar to her seems huge. She feels like there's nothing in it, and nothing she can reach for. In the midst of her loneliness.
そう。先輩まで取っていってしまうの。姉
So,
さん。
so, you're even going to take senpai from me, Nee-san? She whispers in an empty voice. So, that was quite something. More setup, it seems, on this day. I'll just pause the video for a second and will be back with you in another short second when I restart the recording. So I see you in a bit. And I'm back. Just ate something. Was hangry. Anyway, let's continue. Then I find Tosaka's face right in front of mine. I wonder when she came back. What are you doing, Tosaka? What?
なんでしょうね。様子じゃないの？
I bet. Doesn't he look? What?
それより、お昼は、リンとさくらの方が。
Anyway, lunch between Rin and Sakura. Sakura is more. That's weird. What are they whispering about right in front of me? Tosaka? Ilya? I can't raise my voice. Something must be wrong with my throat. One more time. Hey, what are you two talking about? They suddenly stopped whispering. Huh? Oh, my voice is back. It seems like yelling help clear up my throat.
何よ、さっきまでは私の味付けも新鮮だとか言ってたくせに。シロ、辛いの苦手ってこと？
You were just talking about how my seasoning style was fresh and novel. Do you actually not like spicy food, Shiro?
リンのは辛いんじゃなくてしびれるのよ。
Your food isn't spicy, it's numbing.
もうお昼はさくらに任せるって決まったんだから、いい加減諦めなさいよね。シロだってさくらのシチューがいいって言ったんだから。
We already decided that Sakura would make lunch, so give it up already. Shiro said he preferred Sakura's stew too. Apparently we are talking about lunch. Hey, this isn't really a time, I almost say. I look at the clock and see that it's almost noon. Something nags at me. Nothing's particularly wrong, but I feel a strange chilling with Emilia Dojo. Because something's wrong. New weapon data added. New servant data added. What? It was just after 9 o'clock when Tosaka left. Knowledge I don't know in my head. Why are we talking about food? I joined the conversation. Speaking of which, what? Details is every weapon already in my head. Ilya's worried. That white hot pain in my arm. 40, then 26 times. Memories disappear, and I'm back to normal. I tap my finger on my forehead. I'm okay. Anyway, the dizziness is going away.
シロ、どうしたの？イリアと商店街まで買い物に行くんでしょ？
Shiro, you said you were going shopping with Ilya, right? What? Huh? I searched my memory. I frowned for a bit, but before remembering that I did say I'd go shopping with Ilya. Yeah, let's go, Ilya. I shake my head and start walking.
ちょっと、なんか変よあなた。生涯譜を戻した時は元気だったけど、今になって疲れが出たとか？
Hang on. What's wrong with you? You seemed fine when we put the short back on. Or do you feel tired now? Yeah. I feel a little confused, but it's no big deal. It's nothing compared to the pain I felt last night, and I'm in a good physical condition. I got a little dizzy for a second there, but it doesn't pose a problem at all. I take Ilya outside. I can't afford to go out shopping frequently anymore, so I have to stock up on about 3 days at a time. Guess I buy a lot. Is there anything you want, Ilya? I'm thinking about the lunch menu.
あれ、お昼はシチューじゃないの？シロ、さっきそう言ってたけど。
Aren't we going to have stew for lunch? You just said so earlier. Oh, right, I did. I wanted to double check. Sakura likes white stew, so we'll look at some chicken. We head to the butcher's shop I usually visit. We're going to stock up on 3 days in any case. I can't waste money, so I need to maximize value and quality. We spent a brisk 30 minutes shopping.
いっぱい買ったね、シロ。
You bought so much. Yeah, I looked bored while we were shopping. but she seemed to enjoy herself once I gave her some bags to hold. Sorry, I bought too much. Are the bags heavy for you? I can trade for for some lighter ones. I hand her the lightest grocery bag out of the 7 I'm holding.
重くないから大丈夫。
No, I'm okay. It isn't heavy.
それよりもう一個持とっか。白いっぱい袋下げててブドウみたいだよ。
I can take one more actually. You're holding so many in one hand, it looks like a bunch of grapes. I'm okay too. That's a funny example though.
本当は風船持ったピエロみたいだけど、ブドウの方が可愛いでしょ。
Yeah, I was actually thinking you were like a clown holding a bunch of balloons. But grapes are cuter. Ilya runs through the street, talking happily. Wait up, Ilya. They aren't that heavy. But I can't really run right now. Rather than the weight, I'm afraid of that the eggs and tofu in the bags might get crushed. I sigh and fast walk after Ilya. This is the greatest concession I can give as the designated grocery shopper. And so I follow Ilya, making a lot of noise as I hold up my groceries carefully. It seems to tickle Ilya, and she looks like she's having a lot of fun. Okay. Once we leave the shopping district and arrive at the intersection, Ilya stops and turns to me. Die Luft ist kühl und dunkelt und ruhig fließt sie rein. Die Gipfel des Berges funkelt im Abendsonnenschein. Ilya starts singing, supermarket groceries bags in hand. Why isn't that voiced? The melody sounds familiar, like I might have heard it in school when I was a child. Die schönste Jungfrau sitzt dort oben wunderbar. Ein goldenes geschmiedetes blitzte. Blitzt. Sie kämmt ihr goldenes Haar. Schönste. Probably think it's schönste. I stop. Just read it. I'm walking next to Ilya, so I don't know what face she's making. I have no way of telling what expression she's singing with, or how she feels as she walks home. Den Schiffer in kleinen Schiffe. Er greift es mit wildem Weh. Er schaut nicht die Felsenriffe. Er schaut nur hinauf, in die Höhe. It's a nostalgic melody. The tune is simple and gentle, yet lonely. I'm sure that Ilya is happy. Otherwise, she wouldn't be singing on the way home. On the other hand, I can't help but think. Maybe Ilya sings to herself a lot. With no one to talk and no father waiting to greet her at home, perhaps this is the only way she can express herself when no one else is around. Ich glaube, die Wellen verschlingen am Ende des Schiffer und Kahn. Und das hat mir mit ihrem Singen die Lorelei getan. At the edge of the road, I look up at the tall, curved traffic mirror. It reflects me, holding a lot of bags, and a girl singing with her eyes closed, as if in a dream. There's nothing else to say. We're just a brother and sister on the way home after buying groceries. The sight is so natural, so ordinary, that I can't help but imagine how wonderful it would be to see Kiritsuku there. Damn. In between the boy and the groceries and the little girl, lively little girl. I don't remember that being in the movie. That is, well, quite out of the blue, but it was such a touching scene. God damn. Ilya. I hold my breath.
何シロ？
Hmm? What, Chiro? She innocently turns around. She must be hiding how she really feels. Ilya shutting off her own feelings. Ever since Archer disappeared, she's become sullen at times. That's how we can have moments like this. Because if she doesn't hide how she really feels, then she can't smile. That goes for me too. I've known it all along, but I kept putting off thinking about it. Turning away from what needs to be said. Ilya left things be this way, so I joined in on the lie.
シロ？
Chiro? Ilya must have given up. She stopped pursuing it and decided to keep us company at our end. It's okay. If Ilya's happy with our current relationship and willing to ignore it all, then it'll end without her losing anyone else. But still, Ilya, after this war ends, if you have nowhere to go home to, I'm crazy. I'm saying something that doesn't need to be said. But I have to say it while I still can. Going crazy. That's all the more reason. Ilya, do you want to keep living with me? I need to say it now, properly, before I completely lose my mind. She stops. With a flat voice, Ilya asks,
それはキリツグの息子として？
Do you mean that as Kiritsuku-san? She watches more quietly. Kiritsuku-san? What Kiritsuku couldn't do, what he left behind. I must carry on that responsibility as his son, even if we aren't related by blood. I have to settle things with this girl, not because Shiro Emir wants it, but because Kiritsuku's son owes it to her. That's what Ilya is asking me. Yeah, my answer is of course. Yeah, I'm my father's son, and I like you. That's the only reason I want you to live with me.
本気？シロがキリツグの代わりをするの？
Are you serious? You think you can be his replacement? No, I can't be Kiritsuku. Nor can I replace him. We are two different people. I can't give you back what he owes you. But I love my old man. I want to finish what he couldn't. So, if you can find it in your heart to forgive him, even a little bit, then I want you to live with you, Ilya. Is it wrong to try and take back the things you couldn't do until now? Is it wrong for us to live together, even if we're only starting now? She doesn't answer. Aya looks down for a while and then slightly shakes her head.
それは無理だよ。私は長生きできないし、シローも長生きなんてできない。だから一緒に暮らすなんてできないわ。
It's impossible. I don't have long to live and neither do you. So we can't live together. She rejects me with a smile, like a pretty flower. You don't have long to live?
そんなこともうわかってるでしょ、シロー。
You know that, don't you?
ええ。どっちかがどっちかを犠牲にすれば少しは生きられるかもしれない。けど二人一緒は無理だと思う。この戦いが終わった時、私が生きてるってことはシローはもういないってことだもの。
Yes, if one of us makes a sacrifice, the other might be able to live a little longer. But I don't think we can both do that. If I live once this war is over, you won't be around anymore.
ほら、だからできないの。シローがいないエミヤの家には私の居場所はないんだから。
See? That is why it can't happen. Because there's no place for me in the Emiya house, if you aren't there too. Elia's words are filled with certainty. The silver-haired girl describes a grim future like a prophet.
でもちょっと残念かな。今の言葉もうちょっと早く言ってくれたらよかったのに。
It's too bad though. I wish you said it this a little bit sooner.
そうしたら、そうしたらほんの少しだけ運命は変わっていたかもしれないから。
If you had, then our destinies might have changed just a little bit. Yeah. I don't understand what she's saying. Not her declaration that one of us has to die. Or how she can say it all with a smile. You're talking crazy. That won't happen. Zoken might come after you, but we'll defeat him first. That's why you're working together with Tosaka, isn't it?
そうね。けど、それが問題なの。
Yes, but that's also the problem.
これはリンには黙っていてね、シロ。
Don't mention this to Rin, Shiro.
宝石圏の投影、遠坂の遺産を複製することはリンの方法じゃできないの。
About the plan to project the jeweled sword and replicate the Tosaka's relic. Rin's way won't work.
だってシロの投影は投影魔術じゃないんだもの。
Because your projections aren't projection magecraft.
普通の投影魔術ならある程度オリジナルに似せたものに投影を重ねて補強することはできる。
Normally, projection magecraft can supplement a projection that resembles the original to a degree.
けどシロの投影は違うわ。シロは1から10まで全部を自分のイメージで作らないと形にできない。
But your projections don't work that way. You can't give them form unless you create them from A to Z in your own mental image.
だってあなたの魔術は投影じゃなくて自分の心を具現化するものなんだから。
After all, your magecraft isn't projection but a manifestation of your own mind. What? Ilya, how? Does she know that Archer's magecraft is a manifestation of his mind's shape?
だから無理なの。リンが必要としているものを作るにはシロはアーチャーの腕を使うしかない。けどそれがどういう意味なのかシロはもう分かっている。
That's why it won't work. The only way to make what Rin needs is for you to use Archer's arm. But I'm sure you know what that entails.
さっきみたいな一時的な記憶の欠損なんかじゃ済まされない。一度でも使えばシローはもうシローでいられなくなる。
It'll take more than a fleeting fragment of his memories. You'll stop being Ishiro once you use it.
シローは自分のこと、さくらのこと、私のことでいっぱいいっぱいでちょっと混乱してるんだよ。
Right now, you're a little confused because you keep thinking lots and lots of things about yourself, Sakura, and me.
だから今の誘いは忘れてあげる。
So, I forget that you asked me this.
シローだってわかってるでしょ。全部を選ぶことはできない。助けられるのは一人だけなんだって。
You know as well as I do that you can't only save one person, not everyone. Ilya turns away and starts up the hill. The nostalgic tune is gone. Ilya's words linger in my ears. Oh. A shrill noise comes from the kitchen. It's the fourth time tonight I have heard that unpleasant sound.
ごめんなさい。大丈夫ですから。
I'm sorry. I'm okay. Don't worry. I hear Sakura's voice from the kitchen. Tosaka just frowns. She seems tired of warning Sakura by now. It's shortly before 6 o'clock. Sakura asks us to let her make dinner to close out the day. She chased me and Tosaka out of the kitchen, so we've just been waiting around for her to finish making dinner. Another plate or bowl breaks. It's the sound of Sakura's failure that we have gotten used to hearing for the last half of a day. Let's rewind to noon. Sakura couldn't make a stew after Ilya and I went for groceries. She was waiting for us when we got home, but she clearly wasn't feeling well.
大丈夫です。確かに熱っぽいけど、お昼ご飯ぐらい作れます。
I'm okay. I feel a little feverish, but I can at least make lunch I can make lunch at least. And it's true, she could have cooked us lunch. But we weren't going to make her push herself, and she was clearly suffering from a fever. By the time Tosaka and I convinced Sakura to take a nap, it was already past 2 in the afternoon. What she did, she instead.
じゃあ、熱が下がっていれば、お台所に立っていいんですよね。
But once my fever is down, you let me be in the kitchen, right? And went off to bed. Then came evening. I'm not sure when my training ended, but when I finished and went back to the living room, Sakura was already starting to cook dinner.
お疲れ様です、先輩。待っててください。すぐお夕飯にしますから。
Oh, I hope your training went well, senpai. Just hold on, I have dinner ready for you soon. And then she cheerfully went back to her cooking. I could tell with a single glance that she was putting on a strong front. You're tired, so go rest. I said that Tosaka and I would make dinner, but Sakura refused to back down.
もう、先輩も姉さんも、あんまり過保護にしないでください。私だってマスターです。これぐらい、戦うことに比べたらなんてことないんだから。
Oh, you don't need to be so overprotective. I'm a master too. This is nothing compared to actually fighting. She stubbornly refused to back down, no matter what we said. On top of it, she refused to let us help, especially Tosaka. Tosaka reacted with more surprise than I expected.
だって姉さんは先輩を鍛えてくれているでしょ。なら私だって役立たずじゃいられません。
I mean, you're training senpai, right? I need to make myself useful too.
私も姉さんみたいに何かの役に立ちたい。
I want to help, like you, Nesan.
それにこれは私が今まで受け持ってきた役割だから、これだけはずっと私が受け持っていたいんです。
Besides, this is a role I've always had. I'd like to keep doing it as long as I can. It sounds like this is something that Sakura just can't give up. I can only imagine how defeating it must feel to stop doing something she's done routinely every single day, no matter how hard it is to move her body. Fine. Take care. Take care of dinner, Sakura. Tosaka got irritated and started to criticize me. But it only made Sakura say,
はい、頑張ります先輩。
Yes, I'll do my best, senpai. It was hard to be negative in front of that much enthusiasm.
はい、長らくお待たせしました。
Thank you for your patience. A bright voice reaches the dining table. Sakura confidently sets plate after plate on the table. Oh, Takigomi Gohan. What? You put a lot of work into this, Sakura.
はい、先輩がいいアサリとエビを手に入れてきてくれたので、今夜は海鮮でまとめてみました。
Yes, you bought good clams and shrimp, so I used them to make tonight's dinner.
ご飯はアサリの炊き込み、エビは包み蒸しにして、イカはエスニック風に仕上げて、とどめにイリアちゃん対策でハンバーグまで完備したのです。
I cooked the clams into the rice, steamed the shrimp in dumplings, did the squid in a more ethnic style, and topped it all off with a hamburger steak just for Ilya. She puffs up her chest proudly. The dishes she laid out on the table do show brilliance, unlike anything she's made so far, so she must have put her heart into making them. The secret ingredient is effort. Clap, 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 clap. We other three diners applaud this display.
一時はどうなるものかと思ったけど、我慢した分の見返りはありそうね。じゃあ、ありがたくいただきます。
I was worried about you for a while there, but this looks worth the wait. I'm excited to try it.
私も遠慮なくいただくわ。シロ、そっちのフォークちょうだい。
I'm going to eat a lot too. Hand me that fork, Shiro. Here you go. Don't mind if I take some myself.
はい、おかわりありますから、いっぱい食べてくださいね。
Yes, I made enough for seconds, so be sure to eat a lot. I make a quiet bow and pick up a steamed dumpling with my chopsticks. At a glance, the round bite-sized dumpling resembles suimai. They're beautifully formed and accompanied by an exquisite balance of spring onions, ginger, and daikon sprouts. It was uneasy letting Sakura cook for 4 people, but I can't complain now that. My chopstick stopped moving. All 3 of our expressions must have frozen for an instant. We pretend not to notice and quietly keep eating. We have to keep eating. Colorful dish tastes inconsistent. They don't taste bad per se. They just each seem to lack a subtle flavor or taste of balance. The silence is uncomfortable. We keep quietly eating, not quite looking at each other. Still, it's impossible to play it off. Sakura cooked this. She realizes it tastes wrong as soon as she eats it. Our silence is just a prelude to that discovery. I look up at Sakura. She should have realized by now. She's sitting there in shock. And she hasn't taken a single bite. I try to watch her inconspicuously so that she doesn't notice. I wonder what's wrong. Sakura is looking down at her rice bowl and chopsticks with a troubled expression. She hesitates and resolves herself to reach for her chopsticks. But then she drops them with a clatter. She hastily picks them up again and tries to gloss over it by picking up her rice bowl too. I can't directly watch her doing it. Sakura repeats the effort several times. She clumsily moves her fingers and rarely picks up the food with her chopsticks, only to drop it each time and try again. It's more than just difficulty controlling her fingers. Her awkward movements look like that of someone who knew how to use chopsticks until a few seconds ago, but forgot once she picked them up. We're not looking. It's a slip-up that anyone would notice right away, but we don't see it. I tell myself it's just dinner as usual, even as she fails over and over. She awkwardly manipulates her chopsticks onto the food. Finally manages to eat one bite, forgets how to hold the chopsticks, and has to remember it all over again. I can't bring myself to interrupt her desperation and ask her if she is alright. Tosaka hasn't noticed. She's pretending not to notice, and is quietly eating her dinner. So am I. We all pretend not to notice anything wrong with Sakura, and finish our meal in silence. Ooh. Has she the same symptoms as Shiro? Oh yeah, she mentioned that, right? And we saw it in an interlude, I believe. Like him forgetting stuff in the day. Difficulty to remember stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, I decide to clean up after dinner. Sakura tried to help, but I curly turned her away. It's obvious she can't help clean it in her state, and I don't want Sakura to have to confront another routine that she can't do anymore, as she mentioned earlier. Just go back to your room and get a good night's sleep. Remember how your nap helped it to go away during the day? It'll work this time too. I basically tell her that if she lies down and keeps her body from moving, she'll be able to move her fingers again. It doesn't make much sense, even to me. Sakura bites her lips in anguish, looking away. Sakura, this isn't going to last forever. But if you push yourself when you aren't feeling well, it'll take longer to get better. You didn't do anything wrong. Just let us boil you for a while.
そんなことありません。私、どこも悪くなんかないんです。
That is not true. I'm doing everything wrong.
熱だって下がってるし、ちゃんと昨日のことも覚えてるし、先輩の顔だってわかります。私は今まで通りで、 心配されるようなことなんかない。ないから、そんな風に心配されなくても、ちゃんと。
My fever is down and I remember what happened yesterday. I could tell from your face earlier, too. I've never done anything to make you worry before. So, when I see you feeling that way, I have to make it so that I don't worry? Don't be silly. I tell you exactly how bad you're pushing yourself. It took you 2 hours to make dinner. You accidentally dropped a plate several times. On top of it, you messed up all the seasoning. You weren't careful with that salt and you added way too much pepper. It didn't even taste like your own cooking. It's fine to be proud of your work, but it has to be the opposite effect when you don't show results. Do you understand me now? I know you want to get better, but you still have a fever. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made all those mistakes. Just so you know, I'm mad. I'm not letting you go back in the kitchen tomorrow. I won't let you push yourself again until you have completely recovered. So behave yourself and sleep. I don't wait for her to answer and lead her by the hand to her bedroom. Her footsteps are heavy, but I ignore them and took her to her room. Tosaka is waiting at the door. It's now 10 p.m. Time to go out at night patrol, even if it might be a waste of time.
早かったわね。で、さくらは？
That was quick. How's Sakura? I got her into bed, she's clearly tired. No matter what she says, she fell asleep as soon as she lied down.
そう。じゃあ後のことはイリアとライダーに任せましょう。姿は見えないけど、ライダーは屋敷のどこかでさくらを警護してるだろうし。
Okay, we leave the rest to Ilya and Ryder. I haven't seen her around, but Ryder's somewhere in the house guarding Sakura. As Tosaka says, Ryder's constantly protecting Sakura. She probably hasn't taken material form to avoid burdening Sakura. She's unlikely to last even a few more days. I recall the priest's words. As long as the Holy Grail War continues, the crystals inside of Sakura will keep eating her magical energy. In her state, it's dangerous to materialize her servant, and even if she does, Ryder won't be able to fight. Ryder must be standing guard in spirit form, with that in mind.
暗い顔ね。何か言いたいことでもあるの？
You look gloomy. Something you want to say? Huh? Something I want to say? That's a dumb question, of course there is. Tosaka, can we take down Zoken tonight? We can't afford to drag this out much longer. Sakura grows weaker every day. If a priest is to be believed, she could die tomorrow.
無理よ。今の私たちじゃ相手にならない。
No, we can't beat him right now.
焦るのもわかるけど、さくらを助けたいのなら今は我慢なさい。私たちが倒れたら、それこそさくらは助からないわ。
I understand the urgency, but you need to be patient. If you want to save Sakura, if we go down, then there's no one else to help her. We can't fight yet. I get that, but when...
巡回の意味がないって言いたいの？シロ、私たちはゾウケンさえ倒せればいいの？違うでしょ？聖杯戦争に巻き込まれて無関係な人間が死ぬことが許せないんじゃなかったの？
You think there's no point in going out on patrol? Shiro, do you think defeating Zouken is all we need to do? Of course not, right? I thought we were also trying to stop innocent people from dying in the Holy Grey War. She's right. I know that I do. There's a purpose to these patrols. We have to flee if we run into the enemy, but we have to do whatever we can to prevent more people from falling victim, like we did last night. But what exactly did I swear to protect again?
シロ、ちょっと大丈夫エミヤ君。
Shiro? Hey, Emiya, are you okay? Just a little dizzy. Sorry about that, Tosaka. It was thoughtless of me.
いいわ、別に謝らなくても。さくらも危ないけど、あなただって疲れてるんだもの。
It's okay. You don't need to apologize. Sakura's in danger, but you're tired too.
本当はね、今日の投影は3日に分けて習得してもらうはずだったのよ。それを今日だけで成功させるぐらい頑張ったんだから、今すぐ戦いたいって気持ちはわかるし。
Actually, I should have had you learn today's projection over 3 days. I understand why you want to fight him right away, since you succeeded on the first day. Huh? I learned how to use projection today?
どうしたの？何かおかしなこと言った？私。
What? What's wrong? Did I say something strange? No, today's training was so hard and it took everything I had just to hang in there. I still don't quite feel real.
そうね。無我夢中って感じだったもの。けどその甲斐あって、最後には1回だけ探検を投影できたじゃない。
Yeah, you look like you were in a trance, but it was worth it. And you managed to project one dagger at the end.
まあ、今のところ成功率は1割以下だから、これから要修行ってことだけど。
Oh, your success rate is still under 10%, so you still need work. Well, that makes sense if it happened while I was in a trance. My sense of time must have gone numb from concentrating so hard. I felt like evening came before I even knew it. By the time I noticed that something's wrong, we've already gone into town. Tosca must have noticed it too, because she's quietly trying to send something. The view is familiar. The town is dark and quiet after 10 p.m. There's nobody on the streets and no sound at all. It's a silent night that I've grown used to seeing since the Holy Grail was started. But it's quiet. Tosaka's whispers next to me. Yes, it's quiet here. Over the last few days, the town has become as quiet as the ruins. Sinking into a still slumber once night falls. And yet, the silence tonight is beyond anything I've experienced so far.
ねえ、あっち側って昨日もああだっけ？家の明かりはおろか、街灯まで真っ暗だけど。
Hey, yesterday, was it like that over there? All of the streetlights are dark, not to mention the houses. Tosaka is squinting in the direction of Ryodo Temple. It's a part of town that on the opposite side of Shinto, just short of the edge of the city. The streets there are completely dark from here. It's like staring into a black wall. Let's go. That's all I say as I begin walking towards the darkened streets. Tosaka remains silent. It's probably the obvious choice for her too. We both know what is happening here. It's a contradiction. We know exactly what we'll find if we go in there, and yet we go away hoping we're completely wrong. What exactly did I feel when I laid eyes on it? This dark wall was nothing beyond, with nothing beyond it. The instant I step through it and see the town, I understand what's occurred. The town is too quiet. Sleeping isn't enough to describe it. It's a complete void, without any sign of human life. It's the utter stillness of death, not slumber, when nothing is living anymore. I feel dizzy. The town hasn't changed. Around us, 50 or so houses are as black as night, looking exactly the same. There's no sign of their doors being forced. Nothing broke any windows to get in. Of course, no crane peeled off the walls and rooftops to get at what's inside. In the same way, the presence of over 100 residents is simply absent.
エミヤ君、そこの家入ってみましょう。
Emir, let's try going into that house. Tosaka puts on some gloves and breaks into a nearby house. We pass by the nameplate. We open the front door. Walk down the hall. We explore the first floor. Check the second floor. Find absolutely nothing and leave. What about the people in the blackened out houses? Tosaka tells me that they're gone. The town looks as it always does at night. The buildings are completely intact, and there aren't any dead bodies. It's perfectly clean, and nobody will notice anything off once dawn breaks. And yet, it looked even more barren than back then. We checked a few more houses, but our findings were exactly the same. There was no damage to any of the buildings, and no people inside. All we left behind were some traces of magical energy that made my chest ache. On every single building, road, and patch of ground, we found dark traces of something stuck on them that keeps its shape and color even now. We knew even without saying anything that it was the cause of this pristine tragedy. I feel dizzy. I'm irritatingly nauseous. Corpses without bodies. Bleeding without blood. An uninhabited neighborhood devoured by shadow. I walk through it all, on edge. A completely unrelated image comes to mind for some reason. But it isn't unrelated. It can't be if I'm thinking of it here. Stop. Remember. Remember. You know this presence, this scent. You did before too. What did you imagine the first time you laid eyes on the abomination? Don't notice it. It's the same. No, something even heavier attacked everyone here. It's not true. It was the same. Why did you imagine what you saw? Back then? Because I have no proof. I have no reason. I have no motive. I have no evidence. It doesn't look like anyone. It shouldn't be true. It can't be true. I must not acknowledge it. But the more I think,
もし私が悪い人になったら
if I become a bad person, I don't have any proof at all, but my mind tells me this hunch is true. I know it is, because that sensation was... Stop. Don't think these stupid thoughts. Too similar to my nightmares of...
シロ、どうしたの？急に立ち止まって。まだ他に気になることでも？
Shiro, Why did you stop? Is there anything else you want to check out? I shake my head and get rid of the dizziness. I must have gotten a whiff of the scent of a shadow left behind. No, I just got nauseous. Don't mind me and keep talking, Tosaka.
本当参ったわね。向上したシローの大魔力でもあいつの残滓に当てられちゃうんだ。
Really? Darn it. Its residue still affects you even after I increased your magic resistance.
まあ、あれだけの魔力の塊なんだから当然といえば当然か。そうでもなければ街を食うなんてできないものね。
Guess that's to be expected, given that it's massive blob of magic energy. It would be able to eat an entire town if it wasn't. No, that's not why I'm feeling tired. I was just feeling literally disgusted. Tosaka seems to accept that. More importantly, we need to confirm what happened here. So, what happened over there anyway?
まあ、今までと同じ食事でしょうね。ただ、規模が段違いになっただけ。
Pretty much the same meal as before. It's just on a different scale now.
街中に残った後からして、一軒一軒訪ねていったなんてことじゃなかったはずよ。あれは津波みたいにあの一帯に覆いかぶさって、そのまま地面に溶けていった。よっぽど空腹だったのか、一口で食事を済ませたかったんでしょう。
Before, I wouldn't have expected to find its muddy tracks on each and every house. It must have covered the entire area like a tsunami and melted into the ground. It must have been so hungry it wanted to eat them all in one bite.
けど、無機物はお口に合わないみたいね。生きていないものは通り抜けて、有機物だけを残らず消化していった。
Doesn't seem to have a taste for inorganic things. So, it ignored everything that wasn't alive and digested every living thing without leaving a trace.
救いがあるとしたら一瞬で消えたことか。痛みも恐怖も感じる時間なんてなかったでしょう。
The only mercy was that it happened instantly. They wouldn't have had time to feel any pain or fear. A bounded field of dissolution. Tosaka explains that the bounded field Ryder deployed at the school was like magecraft with an instantaneous and powerful effect.
問題はそれだけの魔術の発動にもかかわらず、魔力を感知できなかったってことよ。
The problem is that I didn't sense any magical energy, even though such a large spell was activated.
あれがあの影の仕業だって言うんなら、あいつにとってあれは魔術じゃなく、ただの挙動に過ぎないことになる。要するに、あれだけ広範囲の妖怪も黒い影にとっては寝返りみたいなものだってこと。
If a shadow did this, then this isn't magecraft, but it's innate behavior, meaning that a dissolution of this size is no different than tossing and turning in bed for that thing. I see. It's over now. The shadow disappeared somewhere once it satisfied its hunger, and we have no reason to pursue it now. Our patrol has lost their purpose. There were new victims despite of our efforts, and we can't even detect the shadow, who was the key culprit. Whether it was the shadow or Zoken, I thought we might be able to get a read on their movement and run to the scene to intervene. But that's lost its meaning now. We don't have any way to track the shadow, and more than that.
分かってはいたことだけど、あいつ日に日に成長してるわ。このペースでいけば、次に出た時は手をつけられない怪物になっているでしょうね。
I knew this already, but it's growing every day. At this pace, it will be an unstoppable monster the next time it shows up. Right now, we don't have any chance of winning. going downhill. And we have another interlude. Elias, Sakura's perspective, Shinji? Let's find out. Let me take a sip of water. And continue. Complete silence. They were not the only ones here to appreciate the loss of life and ruin of prosperity. Not that expression was not quite accurate. No, that expression was not quite accurate. The boy and girl still showed an admirable will to fight. And they clearly did not appreciate what they found. Only one who was no longer human would delight in this tragedy. My. Just don't know when to quit. I thought it was fine to let them be, but perhaps it's time to nip this in the bud. Old man cackles. He blends into the shadow as he roams the uninhabited town, White Skull in tow. He's looking at the boy and girl. The old man pleasantly watches his enemies. He has no hostile intent. How could he hate something that is hardly even a foe to him anymore? To the old man, we're no different from pebbles by the wayside. But the White Skull thinks differently. To him, a threat is a threat, no matter how small. Any obstacles should be removed on the spot, even if they are beyond his own powers to defeat. The man who was summoned as assassin acts strictly according to that unwritten law. Should we not kill them where they stand? He inquires of his lord. The boy and girl are highly vulnerable as they walk through the ghost town. How can they be so defenseless in this land of death? The sky can only see them as sick individuals with a wish for death. Thus, one might even consider it a mercy to end them here. And yet... No, no, that would be a waste. I've let them live this long, so it would be so dull to end them now. The old man has no mercy. He is rotten to the core, having lived over 500 years and lost his humanity in all but shape. What do you think of this plot, assassin?
ここに生贄がおる。人の世に疎まれ憎まれ呪われ続けた哀れな肉だ。この肉はな、けなげにも世界を嫌おうとせぬ。ただ一人でも自分の味方をする者がいる限り、その味方が住む世界を嫌わぬよう努めておる。
There's a living sacrifice here. Pitiable hunk of meat, shunned, hated, and cursed by a world of men. This meat nobly tries to save the world, as long as even one person is on its side. It endeavors to save a world its allies live in.
いやはや愛欲とは核も尊く強力なものらしい。肉は何をされようと人のよう憎みきれん。憎めばその味方を否定することになると懸命に自らの泥を抑え込んでおる。
This passion is so precarious and powerful. The world will never exhaust its hate for the meat, no matter what it does to it. It desperately tries to hold its mud in, believing that hating them back would mean rejecting its allies.
故に 肉には何をしても効果はないのだ。
Therefore, nothing the meat does will matter.
だが、その唯一の味方に否定されたとしたらどうなるのか。
But what would happen if it was rejected by its only ally? Are we talking about Sakura?
もとより世のすべてに否定されたものだ。唯一信じた希望に裏切られたとあれば、もはや歯止めとなる道徳など存在しまい。
It has always been scorned by the entire world. It is one and only hope were to betray it. It would have no morality to keep it in check.
では、魔術師殿はあの少年に最後の一押しをさせたいと。
When, Lord Mage, do you intend to have that boy give a final push?
さよう、幕引きはあやつにこそふさわしかろう。予想外の成長ではあったが、あそこまで持たせてくれたのだ。ならば、息の根を止める喜びは譲ってやらねばなるまいて。
Indeed I do. He is the right character to close out this play. He has grown more than expected, but managed to survive this long. It is only right that I allow him the pleasure of killing it. He chuckles in delight. Sadism and satisfaction color his mirth. Enamored with his own ingenuous suggestion, his shattering laugh makes him seem like a skull bobbing in the wind. Oh boy. Something is definitely going to happen tonight. And I think I know what. And if you've watched the movie adaptation, I think you also know what's going to happen. In the end, we got home before midnight. We decided there wasn't any point in wasting our stamina, and there was nothing else to do. My feet feel heavy. The physical stress of trailing all the day must have been catching up to me. Training all day. My body feels like lead, and my eyelids might drop closed at any moment. I'm sleepy. Maybe my mind's worse off than my body. I want to sleep so badly I might just curl up on the floor in the hallway.
おかえりなさい。街の様子はどうだった？リン。
Welcome back. How did the town look, Rin? Ilya was waiting for us in the living room. Sakura isn't here. Of course not. Sakura's... No. Sakura should be sleeping in her room right now.
やられた後だった。それよりさくらは？
We got there after it happened. How's Sakura?
何もなかったわ。ちゃんとベッドで眠ってるし、起きた様子もないみたいね。ライダーを刺激してない分、魔力に余裕があるから調子いいんだと思うわ。
Nothing happened to her. She's sleeping in bed, and it doesn't seem like she woke up. I think she's doing a little better thanks to the energy saved from not using Rider.
そう。まあ、それでも一応警戒して。あの子、次に暴走したら後がないから。
Okay, still, be careful. There's no telling when she might go out of control again. It doesn't seem like Tosaka's any worse off after seeing that ghost town.
私は疲れたから寝るけど、イリアはどうする？
I'm tired, so I'm going to bed. What about you, Ilya?
私も休むわ。明日は製鉄でしょ。よく睡眠をとっておかないと失敗しかねないから。
I'm going to rest too. We're going to forge it tomorrow, so I'd better get enough sleep so we don't fail. Ilya bids us a good night and goes off to the tatami room.
じゃあ今日はこれでお開きね。シロも休みなさい。気づいてないようだけど顔真っ青よ。
That's it for today then. Get some rest, Shiro. I don't think you've noticed, but you're really pale. My body feels heavy. I do manage to roll out my futon, even though my brain fog, thanks to daily muscle memory. I collapse into bed. When I roll onto my back and look up at the ceiling, I make a little time to think. I try to think with my exhausted brain. I think about my left arm, about loosening the shroud today. After experiencing unbearable agony and terror last night, I easily overcome it in a day. It ended so easily, the pain and fear might well have never existed. If I think seriously about what it means, I know the answer. I think about Ilya. She told me that she couldn't live with me. She said she wouldn't be, it would be nice, but that it couldn't happen. Because she doesn't have long to live. She told me something that anyone would know. I think about the... What? I think about Sakura. Her life is becoming more confined with each passing day. Because the crystals are feeding on her body as she doesn't have enough magical energy. It isn't her fault. It isn't Sakura's fault that her body is this way. All I can do for her is to share my magical energy. If I give her some blood and supply her with enough power, she should hold together. I close my eyes. Ilya said that we were all beyond saving. There's only one choice to make. I made it long ago.
先輩、帰ってきたんですか？
Senpai, are you back? I hear a voice from the hallway. I'm awake. I'm in Sakura. I get up even if my head isn't working right. I wanted to see Sakura.
はい、失礼しますね。ごめんなさい。物音がしたものだから起きてきちゃいました。その、先輩におやすみなさいって言っていなかったから。
Pardon me. Sorry, I heard something, so I woke up. I haven't said good night to you yet. Sakura is her usual self. She's introverted, thoughtful, and always holds in what she wants to say, but she's still the girl who tries to love and means so much to me. Over the last year, she's become so stunningly beautiful, but now I want to embrace her at any time we're alone together. She's a person I promise to protect forever.
要件はそれだけなんです。先輩のおかげで体の調子もいいし、今夜はよく眠れそうだから心配いりませんよって伝えたくて。
That's all I wanted to say. I feel better thanks to you, and I think I'll sleep well tonight. I just wanted to let you know that you don't need to worry. Sakura's her usual self. Of course she is. Why would she be? Wouldn't she be? She couldn't possibly be that Sakura that came on to me that one night.
先輩、やっぱりお邪魔でした。
Senpai, am I disturbing you?
なんかすごく眠そうというか、疲れてるように見えるんですけど。
You look really sleepy and... or rather, tired. Sakura, did you get a good sleep? But I still voice my anxiety. My tired mind can't organize its thoughts.
はい、ぐっ ました。
Yes, it was a restful nap.
また怖い夢を見ましたけど、寝つくまで先輩がいてくれたから我慢できました。
I still had scary dreams, but I managed to get through them because you stayed with me until I fell asleep. Scary dreams. I know, I shouldn't ask what they were. I say nothing and reach for a long hair.
先輩、
Senpai? Come here, Sakura. My hand falls from her hair to her shoulder, and I bring her in close.
先輩、私、
Senpai, You don't like it? I whisper into her ear as I hug her. Sakura doesn't resist burying her head into my chest.
すごく嬉しいです。
No, I'm so happy. She lets herself relax and snuggles against me. Then I hug her very tightly. I can't control myself. I've always wanted to do this with her. There's been so many times I wanted to hug Sakura until I pass out. So, I do. Sakura's voice doesn't reach my brain. All I hear is my ragged breathing. It's Sakura who wants me, who needs me. But before I know it, I'm the one who's being satisfied. I lose track of time. I try to keep watching this nightmare until morning, but the power soon goes out of my body, in my body. I start to fall asleep, still holding Sakura as hand.
先輩、私も、
Senpai, I'm going to... Savoring her body seat through my hand, I fall into a deep sleep. Then, the rational part of me speaks. My aesthetic brain recovers its calm in the abyss of sleep. What will happen if you do this? By drowning yourself in Sakura, maybe you're decisively admitting that your fears are justified. Oh God. Yeah. I'm having scary dreams again. Something creeps along the road. Something scary that kills people which eat step at steaks. I watch it go from place slightly behind it. I don't want to watch, but I can't turn away. It's a scary dream. A nightmare where I have to keep watching over and over. But if I'm being honest, I've started to feel a slight closeness to it. I was afraid at first, but I'm used to seeing it now. Above all, this child doesn't have a bad heart. It just eats in a different way than we do. It's a lot like me.
暇そうだね、彼女。どう？一緒に遊ぶ？気分が悪いのかい、お嬢さん。それなら、そうだ。そこで少し休んでこうか。なんだよ、何黙ってんだよ、あんた。そっちだってそういうつもりでついてきたんだろうが。
Tonight is the same. Why do we all come up to it? Maybe it has something that draws men in. No matter how many people it kills, no matter how many days this goes on, all it needs to do to draw in food is to walk around at night. It eats, At first it ate in a rush, but it's gotten the hang of this. There's no need to hurry. Once they're pulled in by their feet, it's over. It eats up their heart and mind without leaving a single drop. Giggle and sing. Go, go. It's in a good mood tonight. Even though it's never shown any emotion before now, it's giddy tonight. It makes me feel closer to it too. I'm very happy tonight. After all, it's the first time. The first time Senpai sought me out himself. Yeah. So there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. I still have these scary dreams, but they're no problem at all. The world seems so beautiful and kind because Senpai is looking at me. So I start to think that even this bad dream could go on a little longer, and I set out in search of my next meal. Unfortunately, working hard, I see. You've taken double your usual number tonight. I run into someone who's even scarier than this dream. I run away. The thing has never been afraid of anything before, but it flees in terror from this man. Golden hair and red eyes. He smells like me. I've seen him before once. Die while you can, girl. Once it takes a liking to you, you won't even be able to do that. He's the golden servant who warned me to kill myself. I run. From what? I run. From whom? I run. Why? My dream won't end. The thing looks so pitiful as it panics and runs into an alleyway. It's all over for it now. I took you for a failed Holy Grail, but you've become far more complete than I anticipated. It's too bad, really. It is I who will carry out the selection. Before you die, curse yourself for being too suitable. In an instant, countless blades stab the thing. Huh? That's weird. It hurts. She's the one who got stabbed, so why am I in pain when I'm watching from over here? She's the one who's dying, so why am I on the ground? I'm the one who's dreaming, so why? Oh god. Why is my body cut to ribbons? Ouch. I'm in a dream, but it hurts, Senpai. Something spilling out from my stomach. I must look pathetic. It hurts. I tried to put this squishy thing back inside, but my hands are playing somewhere else. My feet, I have feet, but the body they're attached to is dangling around. No. When I try to say something, it hurts, like I've been struck by lightning. But I can't move, so I can't get away. Why am I... Still breathing. How filthily you cling to life, girl. He has no mercy. The golden man snaps a finger and a blade bigger than my own body chops my head off. A nightmare. This is a nightmare. Just like the dreams I have had so far. It isn't really happening. Once I open my eyes, I will be back in Senpai's house. See? I'm about to wake up. Because it hurts so much. It hurts so much, I want to die. So unless I wake up, I really will. But I can't wake up. I can't wake up from this dream. Help. Help. It hurts. Help. Help. I need to hurry and wake up or else it will take me with it. But I can't wake up. I can't wake up from this dream. This dream. I can't get out of this dream, Senpai. And then the woman falls. She sprawls on the ground like an insect pinned to a museum plaque. Her entire body skewered by noble phantasms. The woman is still conscious. Her life is far beyond saving. But she doesn't know when to quit and keeps trying to move her limbs.
まだ息があるのか。息汚いな、娘。
Still breathing. How filthily you cling to life, girl. He hands down her death sentence with disdain. Golden Man, the heroic spirit named Gilgamesh, mercilessly lets the final stroke fall.
死にたくない。やっと先輩が私を見てくれたのに、もっともっと触れて欲しかったのに。
Don't want to die. Senpai finally looked at me. I wanted him to touch me more. The woman must not be seeing anything anymore. As if in a trance, she keeps a mundane wish in her final moments. Finally. Just when she finally grabbed hold of a small sliver of happiness, reaching for that shred of cloth.
やだ。死にたくない。死にたくない。
No, I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
だって今死んでしまったら、先輩は姉さん。
Because if I die now, his son will take him.
それが目障りだ。俺の手を煩わせるな。
You offend my sight. How dare you make me work so hard? The executioner's sword falls. The dream is over. The woman's mind sinks into a deep pool of blood and disappears into the dirty alley floor, never to wake again. By the time he turns around, it's too late. You've already grown this It consumes him from his feet. There's no escape, because he's already... It takes a while longer than usual.
少ないから治らないんだ。
It hurts. I don't have much. So, I can't heal. She starts walking. Her stomach is growling. Only thought that drives her is hunger. Even the king of heroes, who have hundreds of thousands of souls, isn't enough to sate her.
足りない。こんなんじゃ足りない。
Not enough. This isn't enough. She cries out as if in a fever dream. This is no dream. This is the first time she goes into the breeding cage on her own. Oh boy. So, that's the overdose we were talking about, I believe. Let's look at the title of the next episode then. Next chapter or next day. Last talk. So, I guess from what happened in this episode and from the title that we saw on the next day, I think the next episode will be the end of the second movie. And, well, it's going to be another hard, big episode. So I'm looking forward to that, but my impression from this episode was kind of... I understand why they don't have everything in the movie that is in the visual novel, but the little moment with Ilya and stuff like that, and why they had such... For me it was random when I first saw the movie, but it was not a bad... how do you call it? Adaptation or whatever. With a dream that Sakura had with cute animals, the princess, dreamland and stuff like that. It didn't really have shown it like that. They, well, you could think for yourself what it entails, but maybe it was too cruel for it to be, what is it, PG-16? Was it 18? Or I don't know. Maybe because of that, but I really would have liked to seen it, how it was adapted in the, what do I mean adapted? How it was intended in the visual novel with, well, seeing that stuff with the Shadow or Sakura there, whatever they wanted to show. So I'm a little sad that it was not in the movie adaptation, but nonetheless, that is why I'm doing this kind of the playthrough of a visual novel, I mean, especially for the Heaven's Feel route, because I've read somewhere, my brother told me that a lot of stuff was cut, and well, I'm seeing that now kind of more and more. And anyway, before I blabble on too much longer, I will end the episode here, and I will see you in the next episode, where we'll be seeing I think the end of a second movie, and well, we are close to the end, I believe. It's only like 3 more days, I believe 4. I don't really know, but it will not be too long, and we'll be finished with the Heaven's Feel route. So, It's been me, Shokimo. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hopefully will see you also in the next one, if you watch this. And, well, until then, bye bye.